Yeah, Barry Sheene was, it wasn't me that said it, but all the blokes wanted to be Barry Sheene and all the girls wanted to be with Barry Sheene. It was because he was a good-looking young lad, you know, wore motorcycle leathers that were brightly coloured and drove around in a Rolls Royce and was just that kind of, he was the dude, I guess you'd say. And so I'd had posters on the wall. Barry was 3 years older than me, but started racing a lot younger than me because he was brought up in a family of racers. His father was an engineer that used to look after racing bikes for riders of a previous era. So Barry probably had about 7 or 8 years advance on me on getting on the racetrack. And I used to admire everything he did, and I'd read my motorcycle news every Wednesday to see what he'd done in the Grand Prix. And then I started moving up through the ranks a little bit as firstly an amateur rider doing club events and then to national events. And I entered a race at Brands Hatch, and it was called Stars of Tomorrow. And it was supposed to be for young riders, such as myself, I guess you'd say, going along, showing what we were able to do by riding our motorbike as fast as we could, winning as many races as we could, judged by a panel of judges. And one of those judges on this particular occasion was Barry Sheene. So I was kind of desperate to get to meet Barry Sheene and say hi and this and the other. And I knew at the time he was living in Wisbech, not so far from here. Anyway, I went out, I had a cracking day, I had a 250 Yamaha. And back then you could enter your 250 in the 250 race, the 350cc and the 500cc, as long as it was lower than the capacity limit, you were able to do it. And I went out there and I won, I think, 5 out of 6 races or something like that, and smashed it, I thought. And anyway, I get up there and I'm invited up there because I'm in the kind of mix of being a star of tomorrow. And somewhere along the line, I don't even know who the other judges were. They were ex-racers or team managers or something, sponsors, I'm not too sure. But anyway, I ended up finishing second. I was really pissed off, frankly. But Barry came over to me, and which was made up for me not winning, and said, I actually voted for you. I thought you did a brilliant job. I don't know what the other 2 idiots were thinking of and this, that and the other. But anyway, he said, I thought, for me, you were the star of tomorrow. And so we got chatting, and it was then we kind of realised we had a lot in common in that we lived in a similar area and we both liked fast motorbikes and fast women or whatever. And I'm thinking, well, I've really gelled with this guy, but it seems to me, after I got to know Barry a lot better, one of the reasons he came over to me, he liked the look of my girlfriend. So to this day, actually, I never really did get it out of him, whether it was my girlfriend that attracted him or whether it was my riding. Anyway, from that point on, he invited me down to Wisbech and we used to ride bikes off-road. But we had a spirit in common, I guess, and we liked doing what we did, riding our motorbikes and having a great time, being fast and doing dangerous things, and that was really where it happened. And there wasn't a lot of the motorcycle riders, amazingly, are from the north of England. There wasn't that many from this area, I guess you'd say. So straight away we gelled, and on top of that, girlfriends gelled really well. He was, by then he'd hooked up with Stephanie, who he married, Stephanie McLean. My girlfriend Linda Davis, they became really good friends. So it was just like a little group of 4 people travelling around together, going off to Grand Prix, and Stephanie would sit in my caravan drinking tea or something with my girlfriend, and they'd go off and do the time. So we became a little close family, and it just went on from there. He was best man at my wedding, and we'd go off and we'd go on holiday together. We'd just travel around as a little group of people. Maybe a little cliquey, I guess you could say, but that was how it all worked. But we were a big family in general. Motorcycle racing was a big family, but we had this little kind of commune, I guess, between us. And it was a sad day when he passed away, and I couldn't believe when he told me he'd got cancer back in 2003. And yeah, it was just, you didn't expect, Barry Sheene was beyond getting normal diseases and things, you know, that happened to normal people. And so it was quite a shock to see that he wasn't the immortal man that I thought he possibly was. But there we are, unfortunately. It happens, and his last words to me before he died, a week before he died, I was out in Australia. But yeah, his last few words before he passed away was, at least we're not going to die wondering, which is something I live by to this day. If you wonder about doing something, try and do it. If you can afford it, do it. Get on it and do it. And that's sort of something that will stick in my mind. That's my ethos. And his other little word of wisdom, and I don't think it was his words, but he said, don't wait for your ship to come in, swim out and meet it. And again, it's a metaphorical way of getting on with things, isn't it? Yeah, you can't expect everything to land at your feet.